boys. You understand? How old's your son? Huh? 10. So you have 6 more years. Be strict. Don't spoil. Understand? That when he hits 16, now you become like friend. But still, you have to give guidance. Not that, oh, you're 16, do whatever you want. No. Okay? You will have to always be his spiritual guide. You have to get, is he going to become a sannyasi?
Maybe.
Huh? He wants to be? He wants to be scientist? That's okay. Your Gurudev was a scientist. He was a devotee scientist. Right, so you still have to, not that you just, okay, goodbye, you're on your, no. You still have to do your duty. Okay? Doesn't mean, people misunderstand this. It doesn't mean that, no more, no. You still, detachment means I must do everything I must do, but in the end, I have to leave it to Krishna. But throughout his whole life, you still have to be there for him. Are you going to take sannyas? Huh? I'm asking you.
You never know.
No, you know.
That's why I'm telling that you never know. My desire will come up.
All right. Well, until you take sannyas, you have to take care of him. But don't be attached that he's mine. He's Krishna's in your care. I have to train him because he belongs to Krishna, not that he's mine. Okay? That's the attachment. Mine. No, he's Krishna's. Now Krishna has given him to you for service. Okay? That'll never stop until you take sannyas. Okay? Is that all right, Mataji? Okay. The problems of material existence are due to these weaknesses of the heart. In this chapter, the first 5 verses describe the process of freeing oneself from these weaknesses of the heart, and the rest of the chapter, from the 6th verse through the end, discusses Purushottama Yoga. Meenakshi, can you break up the word Purushottama? What are the 2 words of Purushottama? Meenakshi. He's the what? Supreme. Very good. So now we finished chapter 15.
Okay, a question.
In the mic, please.
It is said Krishna is the only the man.
That is correct.
But how come it is from among the all the men?
Okay. I like this question.
Thank you.
So, no, does it have to be on? Okay. Can you guys read? Okay. All right. So, technically, yes, Krishna is the only Purusha. Vishnu Tattva is the only Purusha. Purusha means enjoyer. That's the real definition of Purusha. Enjoyer. Male. Everything else is Prakriti. Energy. Female. Go to chapter 7, verse 5 to prove my point. You've heard me say this many times. We are all female. Yes. So don't get puffed up, men, because you're actually female. What does 7:5 say?
7:5.
Yes.
So besides this.
Okay, so these means the 8 separated material energies in the previous verse: earth, water, fire, air, sky, intelligence, mind, false ego. Those are the 8 separated material energies, also female. Then what does it say? Then
Almighty Arjun, there is another superior energy of mind.
Superior what?
Super energy of mind.
Female.
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Which comprises the living entity who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature.
So therefore the living entities are energy, therefore the soul is female, feminine, to be enjoyed by the Purusha, Vishnu, Tattva. Okay? That's the understanding. Now, you will see throughout Prabhupada's explanation and in the Vedas, sometimes the living entity is described as Purusha. Sometimes. Why? Even though the living entity I just proved is what? Because it's energy, okay? But because the living entity in the material world is trying to imitate, who is he trying to imitate?
The Lord
Krishna. Therefore, sometimes the Vedas calls the living entity Purusha because he's trying to imitate the real Purusha, Krishna. But actually, he's Prakriti, feminine. But 9 times out of 10, the living entity is trying to be the Purusha. Yes.
We are part and parcel of Krishna. His Purusha, aren't we Purusha?
What, you're going to disagree with Krishna? What did he just say? You just read the verse. Energy. We just read the verse. So your thinking can't be right. Otherwise, you're contradicting Krishna. No, Krishna, I'm not energy.
It's energy, but when you say male or female, we think in the like man and woman in that sense. But soul is not no gender. He has to submit her to Krishna.
No, the soul has have a gender. It's female. It's energy.
It's energy.
Yes, and energy is feminine. You don't agree? What do you say? No. No. Okay.
No,
What?
because of we have a body of the man, that's why we try to.
We think in, yes.
We try to, but in like a feminine, they don't think that. That is it true?
Okay. Whether you have a man body or a woman body in the material world, you're both trying to be Purusha. You're both trying to be the enjoyer. Both are trying to be the enjoyer. Okay? They just do it in a different way.
Say enjoyer is Purusha, enjoyed is
Correct. That's,
in that perspective, everything is correct.
yeah. I don't even go by what Krishna said. I'm not going to, Krishna, you're wrong. I'm not energy. I'm part and parcel of you. Therefore, I must be Purusha.
And in one sense, when you say part and parcel, it doesn't mean Krishna is divided into us.
No.
It's energy, that's why we call it part and parcel.
Krishna expands himself. We are the separated, energetic expansions of Krishna. Yes. Okay? I can't contradict Krishna. That's why I read that verse. It says energy. And in the Sanskrit language, Prakriti is feminine. Purusha is masculine. Because there's that famous story, maybe Meenakshi knows. When Rupa Goswami was in Vrindavan, he was famous. Mirabai wanted to meet Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami said, no, it is not proper for a woman to see a man. And what did Mirabai say? I only know one man in Vrindavan. So she defeated him from that higher understanding of the philosophy. Even though Mirabai was woman, she actually knew, you're not a man. There's only one male person, especially in Vrindavan, Krishna. So she also had this higher vision. In this Vedic literatures, many times it depends on the context and the particular angle of vision. Okay? Yes, we have all of Krishna's properties minutely, but that doesn't make us Purusha, because that is the next question. Why does the living entity exist? Who can answer this question? Why does the living entity exist? Exactly.
For enjoying.
The living entity exists for Krishna's enjoyment. So that is another way to reiterify what Krishna said in Bhagavad-gītā 7:5. We are here, the reason we exist is to give Krishna pleasure. He expands himself to increase his pleasure potency.
So such like in Golok Dham also, like Nanda Maharaj, he also exists just for the service to the Lord.
That is correct.
So
Even Balaram sees himself as Krishna's servant. Even Balaram. And he'll even say that once or twice in the 10th canto in Krishna book. Because why didn't Balaram take the side of the Kauravas in the battle? Huh? Yes, he didn't want to go against Krishna. And he didn't want to go so he didn't want to fight on the side of the Pandavas because it would affect the Kauravas. But because they asked Balaram, Duryodhana, they asked him, you come fight on our side. Balaram said, no, I'm not independent of Krishna. So what did Balaram decide to do? He took neither side. He went on pilgrimage. And when did he come back? What day? When Bhim and Duryodhana were fighting. That's the day he returned. And he told them both, why are you guys fighting? Duryodhana, you are more expert with the club, and Bhima, you're stronger. You're not going to win. And that's why, what did Krishna have to do? Huh?
cheating.
What did Krishna do? Because Balaram is right. They were equally matched. Duryodhana was better with the club, but Bhima was stronger, so it was outweighing. So what did Krishna have to do? Cheat.
Cheat. Yeah, I told cheat.
How did he cheat?
Break the tie.
Exactly. And what else did Krishna do? To ensure. Krishna also did something else to make sure that it would come out. Remember?
Duryodhana went to the mother to take the...
His mother told him, come to see me naked. And she was going to take off the blindfold and transfer all those years of penance and give it. And again, who intervened? Krishna, by saying, you can't go like that in front of your mother. But his mother had told him, you come naked. But Krishna stopped him. See how Krishna? Tricky. Yes.
Is there another name of the Krishna? Krishna's another name of the cheating?
I don't know.
We have a lot of Ranchor and a lot of the Makhan.
Yes. So, Krishna intervened. Yes. He didn't fight but he did have his hand once or twice in the... Right? All right. Everybody chant the Maha Mantra.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare.
Let's continue. In the beginning of the 15th chapter, the banyan tree of this material world was explained. The extra roots coming out of it were compared to the activities of the living entities, some auspicious, some inauspicious. In the 9th chapter also, the devas or godly and the asuras, the ungodly or demons, were explained. Now, according to Vedic rites, activities in the mode of goodness are considered auspicious for progress on the path of liberation, and such activities are known as Daivi Prakriti, transcendental by nature. Those who are situated in the transcendental nature make progress on the path of liberation. For those who are acting in the modes of passion and ignorance, on the other hand, there is no possibility of liberation. Either they will have to remain in this material world as human beings, or they will descend among the species of animals or even lower life forms. In this 16th chapter, the Lord explains both the transcendental nature and its attendant qualities, and the demoniac nature and its qualities. He also explains the advantages and disadvantages of these qualities. So now we're in chapter 16. In the conditional state, people are attracted to worshiping demigods, ghosts, or yakshas like Kuvera. The mode of goodness is better than the modes of passion and ignorance, but one who takes directly to Krishna consciousness is transcendental to all three modes of material nature. Did we not say that previously? Although there is a process of gradual elevation, if one, by the association of pure devotees, takes directly to Krishna consciousness, that is the best way, and that is recommended in this chapter. To achieve success in this way, one must first find the proper spiritual master and receive training under his direction. So I don't know how many times Prabhupada, just in these summaries, has said, you have to accept a spiritual master. There's been so many, repeatedly he's hammering that point. Got to have, in other words, you can't just read the Vedic literatures on your own. That's only going to get you so far. You have to have a spiritual master and receive training under his direction. Then one can achieve faith in the Supreme. When that faith matures, in course of time, it is called love of God. This love is the ultimate goal of the living entities. One should therefore take to Krishna consciousness directly. That is the message of this 17th chapter. So now the final summaries. Very good. We're going to finish. Everybody chant Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
May Krishna bless you. Come and get blessings. Good boy. So let's go. Actually, the Bhagavad-gītā is finished in 17 chapters. The 18th chapter is a supplementary summarization of the topics before. What is the other chapter that is a summary? Chapter 2. Good. In every chapter of Bhagavad-gītā, Lord Krishna stresses that devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate goal of life. This same point is summarized in the 18th chapter as the most confidential path of knowledge. In the first 6 chapters, stress was given to devotional service. Yoginam api sarvesham. Of all yogis or transcendentalists, one who always thinks of me within himself is best. In the next 6 chapters, pure devotional service and its nature and activity were discussed. In the third 6 chapters, knowledge, renunciation, the activities of material nature, and transcendental nature and devotional service were described. It was concluded that all acts should be performed in conjunction with the Supreme Lord, represented by the words Om Tat Sat. So there, what Prabhupada is referring to was at the end of chapter 17. This phrase Om Tat Sat is there at the final portion of chapter 17, which indicate Vishnu, the Supreme Person. The third part of Bhagavad-gītā has shown that devotional service and nothing else is the ultimate purpose of life. This has been established by citing past acharyas and the Brahma Sutra or the Vedanta Sutra. Certain impersonalists consider themselves to have a monopoly on the knowledge of Vedanta Sutra. There, Prabhupada is referring to the Mayavadis headed by Shankaracharya. That's where they come from. But actually, the Vedanta Sutra is meant for understanding devotional service, for the Lord himself is the composer of the Vedanta Sutra, and he is its knower. Assistant, Mahatma Das, my assistant. Chapter 15, verse 15. Please read the translation, please.
15:15.
Yes.
Sanskrit? Oh,
English.
English. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness.
Did we not discuss that already earlier today? Yes? Continue.
By all the Vedas, I am to be known.
We also mentioned that. Go ahead.
Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta.
So in what form did Krishna compile Vedanta? Veda Vyas. Yes. Go on.
And I am the knower of the Vedas.
Very good. Thank you. Let us continue. For the Lord himself is the composer of the Vedanta Sutra, and he is its knower. That is described in the 15th chapter. In every scripture, every Veda, devotional service is the objective. That is explained in Bhagavad-gītā. There is a statement by Lord Chaitanya. He says that actually the Vedas are only teaching three things: Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana. Sambandha means, what is my eternal relationship of service to Krishna? Abhideya means acting in that understanding that I'm the eternal servant of Krishna. And Prayojana, the ultimate fruit of devotional service, which is getting rich. No? Oh. I wanted to see who was paying attention. Very good, students. You've passed your examination. Very good. Excellent. As in the second chapter, a synopsis of the whole subject matter was described. In the 18th chapter also, the summary of all instruction is given. The purpose of life is indicated to be renunciation and attainment of the transcendental position above the three material modes of nature. Arjuna wants to clarify the two distinct subject matters of Bhagavad-gītā, namely renunciation, tyaga, and the renounced order of life, sannyas. Thus, he is asking the meaning of these two words. In the 14th chapter, the three divisions of the modes of material nature were elaborately described. In that chapter, it was said that the mode of goodness is illuminating, the mode of passion materialistic, and the mode of ignorance conducive to laziness and indolence. All the modes of material nature are binding. Again, all the modes of material nature are binding. That includes the mode of goodness. They are not sources of liberation. Even in the mode of goodness, one is conditioned. There it is. In the 17th chapter, the different types of worship by different types of men in different modes of material nature were described. In this verse, the Lord says that He wishes to speak about the different types of knowledge, workers, and work itself according to the three material modes. Because chapter 14 is where Krishna introduces the modes of nature. There's more in chapter 17 and the first half of chapter 18. All of that deals with the modes of nature. The Bhagavad-gītā, okay, so now the finishing up. These are the final summaries. This is really, really sweet. The Bhagavad-gītā began with an inquiry of Dhritarashtra. What was that inquiry? Yes. What's happening on the battlefield? How are my sons doing? Good. He was hopeful of the victory of his sons, assisted by great warriors like Bhishma, Drona, and Karna. He was hopeful that the victory would be on his side. But after describing the scene on the battlefield, Sanjaya told the king, "You are thinking of victory, but my opinion is that where Krishna and Arjuna are present, there will be all good fortune." He directly confirmed that Dhritarashtra could not expect victory for his side. Victory was certain for the side of Arjuna because Krishna was there. Krishna's acceptance of the post of charioteer for Arjuna was an exhibition of another opulence. Krishna is full of all opulences, and renunciation is one of them. There are many instances of such renunciation, for Krishna is the master of renunciation. Who can give me another instance of Krishna's renunciation? Rasa Leela. Explain. Yes. Very good. What is another incidence of Krishna's renunciation? You said it before, Ranchor. What did Krishna do?
He ran away from the enemy.
Was he afraid?
No.
What was his real intention?
He
Yes, he wanted Rukmini. That's why he left the battlefield. How many times had Krishna already defeated Jarasandha? 17 times. You're right. It's not that he was afraid. My God. Okay, good. And there are other examples. Just like Krishna, I just read the story this week, the Syamantaka jewel. Krishna was accused by Satyabhama's father, Satyajit, that Krishna stole the jewel. But actually the jewel was stolen by Satyajit's brother Prasena. Prasena was killed by a lion. Who killed the lion? Jambavan. Jambavan, what did he do with the jewel?
Give it to Zambavati.
No. He gave it to his son. Why? Huh? Yeah, but why didn't he? It's a jewel. This jewel was producing gold. Why did Jambavan give it to his son? Huh? Right. Why would Jambavan not be attached to the gold? Ha! Devotee is not interested in gold. Devotee is interested in God. So yes, he wasn't interested. He had a higher taste. So when Krishna entered the cave, he was going to take it from the son, and the nurse screamed, "Ah!" Jambavan came out angry. He did not recognize Krishna because he was angry. Prabhupada makes that point. Because he was angry, he could not recognize. So how many days they fought? 28 days. Jambavan reasoned, wait a second. I'm the strongest person. Nobody can fight me for 28 days. He must be my Lord Ram. Only Lord Ram can defeat me. So by his service, by his fighting, he came to realize this must be my Lord Ram. And yes,